Hello, everybody! Hello, hello! How are we all doing? Happy Monday! It's time! We are back! How are we all doing? Hello, hello, hello! What a wonderful day it is! It is Monday! Hello to everyone! How are we all feeling? How are we all doing? Go! Hello everybody! Just my old headset sorted. Hello! It's Monday! How is everybody? Holy shit, we're back! We are back to our regularly scheduled programming. Second. There we go. Nice. How's everybody doing? Welcome. It is time. It is time for the strem. We just sort out some volume bits and bobs. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Guess what? I was able to return to the gym today. My knee is fucking knackered, as is the rest of me. But we progress. We progress. Oh, dear. So scrungly. Ugh, alright then. We are back to PHOENIX WRIGHT, ladies and gentlemen. The ever-continuing final case of the second game. Good gravy, good golly, good goth. Where are we at now? Nice. All right then, chat. Let me just do my usual bit. Good game capture. Nice. There we go. Now then, I think where were we at last time? 21, 45. We were either at the end of a trial or in the middle of a trial. Yep, there we go. So let me think now. We were talking to Old Bag, I believe it was. Oh god, where were we at now? At the time of the murder, he was still in his nickel samurai costume. Hey, right. That's right. So if I remember right last time, chat, Oldback had said that she recognized it was Mr. On Guard because he was in his biker jacket. But then we had said and proved that it couldn't have been Mr. On Guard because if it was him, there we go. Now y'all can hear the in-game music. Yeah, because if it was indeed him, then how on earth did a button from the victim get onto his samurai outfit? Because they found the button from the Jamming Ninja on his samurai outfit. So that's where we were at before we had to stop to watch State of Play. If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is... And I have to go back to, once again, reading everything. Fucking kill me. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We may have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? If I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with it. Nothing strange with it. Hold on. I need to... Do I have this in my files? I do. Right, hold on. Let me have a look at this for myself. Adds in 40 seconds, chat. I think I know what's wrong with this photo. Look, we got double doors here, right? Those double doors, I think, lead to the main hall, which means that this isn't On Guard's room. Oh no, sorry, this isn't Juan's room. This is On Guard's room. Lotta Hart must have taken the photo from the other side of the corridor. Chat, bear with me. Alright, we got ads coming up, chat. So you know the drill. Ad break! There we go. Right, just save the game, chat. There we go. Yep, once again, everybody with subs, thank you so much for subbing and putting up with this. And those of you without subs, thank you so much for enjoying the ads. It is entirely appreciated. Just have to sit by and vibe. God, my knee is absolutely knackered, chat. It's absolutely fucking shot. It honestly fucking just... genuinely, my knee just aches like fuck. I think I'm gonna have to put something on it, or rub something in order to just help it ease up or something, because it is just like, damn. Ads end in 40 seconds, chat. Well, I'm glad to be back at the gym. I'm glad to be back at the gym. I I missed it so much due to the heat wave and being sick. So being able to get back in there just felt it was frustrating because I'm not where I used to be, but that's just part of the process of getting back into things. Also, and welcome back everybody. Thank you for enjoying the ads. Super appreciated. Thank you so much to all of you. Right then. Yeah, chat, I think what's strange with this picture is that those double doors, I think, lead to the main hall, which would mean if that isn't like Juan's room, that on guard's room. Something strange with this photo. This was coming, Mr. Wright. Your thought, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. Are you sure? Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Here we go again. He's doing the whole, like, one chance bullshit chat. Fucking hell, here he's at it again. To find something wrong with this photo. Can't let this go by. Yeah, there we go. Where in the heck did she take this photo from? Here. That's a hint, I think. That's a hint. Yeah, she took it from the wrong angle. Well, this photo is strange. Yeah, I'm going to pick the door, and hopefully that's... Saying something you're all not. It's like there was no problem with this. What? That's what's wrong. Hold on. Yeah, fucking hell. Hi, Zonasa. Welcome to the stream. Blah, blah, blah. God damn it. Let me rerun this shit. That's just fucking... Oh, God. Phoenix Wright, you're so annoying. So annoying. Alright, hold on then. Let's pick something else then. Fuck me. I really wish the game was less of a funnel. It can be so frustrating. Right, is it though? Double doors. Am I gonna have to pull up the guide just because the game is fucking... Yep. Oh my god, you're so frustrating, Phoenix, right? Like... When I don't know what's going on and I struggle to guess what it is, like, it's frustrating. And then even the times when I am right, it is also incredibly frustrating. Hook me sideways. Right, hold on then, Phoenix, right, if you're gonna do this... Da 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 da. Right. Right. Apparently it's that. Fucking hell. That's frustrating. That's so frustrating. Fucking... I thought it was the fucking angle of the hallway. I thought it's like, oh, he's not leaving, like... He's not leaving Juan's room, he's leaving his own room, like... And that Lotta took the picture from the wrong direction. But hello, Zanassa, good to see you. If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And what does that mean? The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. Ongard. Frustrating. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. I was able to get back to the gym today. I'm absolutely knackered and my knee's shot, so, you know. Clearly had a very good session. I feel better about getting back to the gym. It's just frustrating getting back and being like, wow, I am nowhere near where I used to be, so, yeah. I wonder if you would care to elaborate. Yeah, the Steel Samurai theme, yeah. Although in this instance, Nickel Samurai. With actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Yeah. I was able to do a good amount, and I just kind of decided to like go to near failure for a lot of my workouts, which was nice. But it's just there, like, yeah, getting back to the gym after like a good few weeks of not being able to go because I was sick first and the heat wave hit. Absolutely, just oh god, I hate it. It's good to get back, but I hate being so out of flunter. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. His socks. You can see his socks. Exactly, however, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. It doesn't look like that. It looks like he's just kind of walking fine. That doesn't look like someone holding their pants up. He just looks like he's walking fine in that picture. He doesn't look like he's chat, like, hold on. Like, does that look like someone who's holding their pants up to be able to walk? They just look like they're just striding across the corridor. That doesn't look like someone who's holding their pants up. It just looks like someone walking along with baggy pants. Like that, for people, that's not how I look when I'm wearing like pants that like drag down to my feet. Like, that's just no. Fucking whatever. Fucking PHOENIX WRIGHT. Crack on. There's only one explanation for this. The writing room and the art team did not collaborate. That's inside. This costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Fucking doesn't seem it. I get where they're coming from. Like, I understand it, but it's just there like for the thing to point out in this image, be like, oh, this is clearly someone who is like having to hold up their pants in order to walk. It's like, doesn't look like it. It looks like somebody walking across a corridor with baggy pants. Sorry, chat. Messages from people. My apologies. My apologies, chat. Alright. I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. What is it? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. Is he? True. He's just letting the trial run itself. As if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. Interesting. And haven't damaged his case at all? Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. Old bag is still just standing around there. I figured it would come to this. Here we fucking go. Rose doing shit again. Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you've proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the nickel samurai costume? Oh, this Phoenix is very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Why is he so calm? Just going to do our usual bit of save scumming chat. Let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Adrian Andrews? If you want to know who that nickel samurai is, it is none other than this woman! And why would you say it must be Ms. Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short, and she can freely move in and out of Mr. Onguard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Onguard that night, true. And how does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Onguard's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, Mr. Wright? To do this now, this is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Ms. Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. It was Ms. Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honour. This court is issuing a subpoena for Ms. Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. Is it? Kind of bad for us. What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya. Oh god, yeah. Now then, we shall set Ms. Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What's supposed to do? Save scum time!
Objection!
Please, Your Honour, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today. We cannot hear Ms. Andrews' testimony if... Yep. Edgeworth. I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth. Your Honour, I request that you please continue with today's trial. We cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honour. What do you mean by that? That Mr. PHOENIX WRIGHT would slave his way to subpoenaing Ms. Andrews is all happening according to plan. Even if Mr. Wright is a bit slow to catch on. What? 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 What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Ms. Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man. Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Ms. Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall... 10-minute recess. Fair. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The courtroom will now take a 10-minute recess. To be continued, and that's the end of stream. Always keeps happening, chat. Always keeps happening. No. March 2nd, 2:14 p.m. District Court. Defendant lobby numero 3. Can't believe that, Adrian. No way. Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. Here's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was her. So after the ceremony during the break... Huh? Living like a dog the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your Hakama. She was the one that came to wake me? Interesting, okay. Then you're saying it was really her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juana Corrida. Juan. Why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of the today. By the end of the today, fucking hell. You can tell I'm out of practice from reading PHOENIX WRIGHT dialogue. Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze. PHOENIX. You think her motive is related to Celeste Impax's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Ms. Andrews depended on Ms. Impax as her strength and reason to live. But then Ms. Impax suddenly killed herself. Sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Corrida, the victim of the murder. And that's why I think that Ms. Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida, all to get the suicide note back. Sounds plausible, but the one thing that bothers me... Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Ms. Impax. It was Edgeworth. It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. Here we go again, chat. March 22nd, 2:25 p.m. District Court, courtroom numero 3. Greetings, motherfuckers! Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this courtroom. Ms. Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. He's left-handed. Chat, she's left-handed. Look at the hand holding the book. That's how I hold books, chat. She's left-handed, which would mean then, chat. Your fucking points. Look. She's left-handed, and where was the stab wound? Left side of the body. She did it. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. What is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. Get bumped about. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossip Land. The judge was ever a prosecution witness. He'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation. God damn, how many? 1, 2, 3 bots? Jesus Christ. Tell us about your relation to the victim. 4 bots? Jesus! I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rival. Look at the hand. Look at the hand, chat. Look at the ones flipping the card. Left-handed. Left-handed, chat. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. Goddamn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bots? Jesus. But this was a primitive matter between Juan and myself. So it was a... That's a lot of bots, Jesus. So it was a fry and bait matter, or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. Jesus. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Ms. Andrews. Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder had taken place. When I found the body. King Jesus Christ, that's a lot of bots. That's way more bots than we usually get. Jesus wept. I think I just remembered how that case goes. Okay. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. Okay. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Okay, so that's her explanation. Jesus, why are we getting so many fucking spam bots today? Good God. Okay. Right. You poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes. Sadly, I didn't remember not to touch the things at the scene of the crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. Interesting. See. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. I see. You disrupt her pacing. She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking, so you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over, understand? Okay, interesting. Here we go, chat. Let's just do a quick little save. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. Not as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Yes. There was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? There were no lip marks left on the wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I'm feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Crack so easily. The only way to make her is to keep on the offensive and not let up. The only way you're going to catch her is with something very strong, decisive evidence. Right. I have to find something. Right. Okay. And what was Mr. On Guard doing at the time? Taking a nap, yep. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. On Guard did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room. Yes? Excuse me, it? What do you... Right, I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Ms. Andrews, remove Mr. On Guard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object. Right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. Thought I went to Juan's room. And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship. Just further, is that the only reason? I beg your pardon? What are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim. What did you see when you got to his room? That was his dead body, and I was in shock. You were in shock. She was a very calculating person, and despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Corrida. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock, and you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be in shock. Somehow I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. Ms. Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Mr. Juan Corrida, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself a glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Mine was a complete blank, and you didn't think it was possible for you. I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake, that one thing. No big deal. Press further. Ms. Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. It's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, you accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Interesting. Talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo. Interesting. This mess of glass shards. It was originally on the top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell. On the guitar case. Okay. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? Oh, shoot, I didn't realize there's a fucking... Oh, ads are on. Son of a bitch. Sorry, chat. Oh, I didn't see that. My bad. Right, ads are on, chat, so just have to hold on for now. I didn't see that. My apologies, chat. I'm such a silly bugger. Ad break ends in 40 seconds, chat. Mm. 10 seconds till, what do you call it, Jet? Ads are over. Alright, ads are over. There we go. And we are back. There we go. Hello, chat. Welcome. I simply assumed that the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal in your testimony. I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. Interesting. I was the one who knocked the flower vase over, where it fell onto the guitar case. Oh. It's not the cat, I thought it was. Oh well, right. Guitar case empty. There is some water, but only on top of the lid bears Corrida's fingerprints. Interesting. Resser! Resser! What kind of flower vase was it? It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. Thought I would try and take Juan's pulse, so I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser. And that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase. Is it though? His desk. One. She might have been able to do it, chat, but angling myself, it's on the right-hand side. And she's left-handed. So unless she, like, you know, obviously rotated herself to put the glass down and do stuff and accidentally knock the vase off, all that stuff's on the right-hand side. She's left-handed. So that maybe doesn't quite add up. My elbow accidentally hit the vase. It's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself. What she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality. Doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now. She would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to keep on the offensive and not let up. Right, so there's some kind of evidence we can pull out. Getting that from his room. I went to Juan's room. Dead body. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime photo. Although I was up to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. See, there's some water on the top of the lid, bears Corrida's fingerprints. There's fingerprints, gate water. Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. I was the one who knocked the flower vase over, where it fell onto the guitar case. I want to just try something here. I am probably wrong as usual, but fuck it, we have to see. Ah, I was onto something, chat. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is that correct? Yes. I'm sure it fell onto the guitar case. Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Ms. Andrews, You testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case... Oh god, almost knocking shit over, chat, Jesus Christ. If that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case. And what is this? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. What is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards should be inside, not outside. What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No. Think back to what Ms. Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. That's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. This whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. Does it not? That may very well be. However, seems to have no relation to this case, does it? I'm sure it'll become relevant later on. Seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? Yes, the empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. Anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. Yes, it's only me with my previous wins that people have said I'm clutching at straws at the new pop-off king. I'll follow along for now. Ms. Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yeah, it's always funny when they go, oh, it's so like you, right, to clutch at straws. When it's like, bro, I'm on a win streak, you know? I've got wins on me. Like, what can I say? I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. That doesn't usually hold up in court, chat. His wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Bro, I've been on wins because of this kind of shit. Don't at me. I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using any way to change the topic, a convenient escape for a weak man. They just give me nothing but shit. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. So why I opened the case, I don't know. Interesting. Let's take this step by step, chat. During your testimony, just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see. Are you sure you are the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. Interesting. Yes, it was me. Okay. I was supposed to open the guitar case. Try and knock the vase over. So you open the guitar case then? Maybe. Why did you open the guitar case? Mr. Corrida's dead body was right in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. As the witness has said multiple times, when he found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the Bright Red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about that Bright Red guitar? Indeed, why? Getting back on topic. There's Corrida's fingerprints. Right, hold on. Let me just do something real quick, chat. Fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. There is no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. What is it, Miss Andrews? Sorry, chat, DMs again. You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, I remember now. There we go. I was sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. Seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. Let's say there's nothing strange about that for now. Okay, alright. Let's reload that one. You're wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? Ooh, let's have a look. Fucking glass. It's got her fingerprints on it. I have your proof right here, this wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. She's contradicting herself, chat. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Her glasses. Oh, she's got a different pair. Oh, fine, sure, fuck it. Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. Damn straight. I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. It's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. Drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the Bright Red guitar. It was the fucking suicide note. It's the suicide note. It would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves despite the fact that on the case... Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's unusual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided... Yeah, get back at him, Phoenix! Get back at him, Phoenix! Recall that Ms. Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it was wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. If you are so sure, right, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Thank you, Twin, thank you. Get his ass! Please enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything at all to do with the murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? There we go, chat. Save scum time. Get ready. Everybody hold on! Let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar. So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that it, Mr. Wright? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? Ooh. I'm gonna present this, and hopefully it suggests that the suicide note was in there. Oh. God damn it. God damn it. It just won't let me just point my own fingers into stuff. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? Samurai stage show, Dawn of the Night, tabloid article about the victim in this case, article on tabloid land, tomato juice. Was ripped from his costume, countries from there. Hmm. Do I need to suggest it was, hold on. Okay, so it's not that. Alright, chat messages again, I do apologise. What was inside the case at the time of the murder? Oh, that's Martella. Gossip blend. We're going to get closer to tomato juice. Photo of Juan Clarita at the murder scene. Closed and then opened. Hold on, chat, bear with me. I'm confused, as per usual. Hold on. Huh? What? This is a photograph, yes, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor. In this picture, it doesn't take a genius. Fucking we'll see about that. To see what I mean, what I'm proposing is, inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very... What? What? Where are you going with this, right? Because even I don't know at this point. The costume for the Nickel Samurai was in the guitar case. Where are we going with this? I'm confused now. Saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume. At the same point, would there be... Yeah, even I'm wondering where Wright's going with this. I'm very confused. She put... What? Okay, so you put on the costume to hide her identity so she can make her escape. Why was there a costume in the case after all? Couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Ms. Andrews? Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? It looks like we've wandered into another mess again, haven't we? Why? What? Why was the... Yep. We have a new first-time chatter. Whomst is this? Stream W Marlu. Hello, Marlu. Welcome to the stream. I'm Beefers. And I am doing okay, thank you. 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matongard's. Yes, it would have been. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? That is a very good question. And inside the guitar case of all places. Hmm? Oh. Thank you, Stream Marlu. Thank you for the follow. Appreciated. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. Yeah. What was the Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case? It couldn't have been stolen from On Guard because he was wearing the damn thing, so it had to be a spare then? I am confused as to... Miss On Guard did not take his costume off during the break period, true. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one. Okay, but how and why did it get inside a guitar case? Then you're saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel. Yes, that is what I am saying. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. But why? Yeah, why? The victim, Mr. Corrida, was the Jamin Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? Yes. Therein lies the sticking point. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Yeah, I'm wondering where he's going with this, quite frankly. We're suffering from a Phoenix Wrightism, where we're sort of... Like, if you understand where it's going, and, you know, they've given you a rope to kind of get a grip and follow, that's great, but I myself am befuddled. Because I'm sure it's going to lead to something plot-wise, but I'm kind of in the dark. It's like, okay, so there was a spare costume in the guitar case. But why? Like, and the fact that I don't know does not help me solve the case. Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume? Well, you can explain this one. Fucking hey, I don't know if you can explain this one. Even I don't know what Phoenix is on about now. Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you. This is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... Was Adrian angling for Juan to become the Nickel Samurai? Are you crazy? The evidence with gusto, like you said. Told you says it with gusto. That seems to recall the sentence was... I fucking did, thank you very much. I did think about it, thank you very much, and that is like one of the only bits of evidence we have that leads in that fucking angle. Reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai. Oh, is it this one? Yes, okay, we seem to be on the right path. On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. The Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at the conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up right. Thanks, Edgeworth, despite my numerous wins against you, thanks. But what struck me as strange was that Mr. On Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. True. How can that be? The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself. Okay, the spare nickel costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Corrida was going to hold that press conference as the Nickel Samurai. Interesting, but Adrian knew about that as well. Adrian knew about the conference as well. He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference. But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at the conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something, and by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Corrida, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt on Guard. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure. Ms. Andrews? Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Was it set up by him and she went along with it? I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. Okay. Juan had bet everything on the Jamming Ninja this year, and if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. Oh, okay, that's what he thought anyway, right. Oh, puss. God damn it, I missed another ad break start. Sorry, chat, I'm so bad at this. There we go. Christ, how did I miss that? I must have been focused on the fucking story. My apologies, chat. Oh dear. Christ, how did I miss that? Do-do-do. We are. Ad break ends in 30 seconds, chat. Do 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 do. I'm interested where this is going, chat. Very interesting. I was caught offside by Nick and what he was where he was going. But yeah. Ah, welcome back. Hey, thank you for the shrimp checking the hydro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. I have successfully wet myself. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, let's think this through. So, Juan, with a spare costume, sets up the conference because if he didn't win the Prix as the ninja, he was going to do something to take down Matt with him. And Adrian helped set it up. Interesting. He was going to ruin him. It looked like somehow Juan had his hands on a secret so powerful it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Interesting. What? And do you know what this secret of Mr. On Guard is, Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. Okay, okay. What? We're getting to something juicy here, chat. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone, but that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. On Guard? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Ms. Andrews, if you could please tell us the truth about your behaviour. Yes, Your Honour, I understand. Protecting Matt. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what, and he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt I had to protect him. Okay, but the problem here is it's like we've discussed before, chat. Matt was winning. Pure and simple. Bro was winning. Like, they had a rivalry, sure, but Matt was winning. He won the Grand Prix of, like, heroes and shit. He has no reason to murder the man. It's like they've got a pretty, like, their rivalry is pretty established, but it's also pretty evident that, like, you know, that motherfuckers just aren't, like, on the same level. Matt On Guard won the competition. He himself has said it. Why does he, like, he wouldn't need to murder anybody? He's winning. The only person who'd have recourse, I think that's the right wording, to murder anybody would be Juan, because he was losing the rivalry. If anything, like, if that's the way things were going, Matt should be the fucking victim here. He should be the dead body, but he's not. It's Juan, the loser. Like, no need. Matt can't be the killer. There's no need for him to kill anybody. He's winning. Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine. It's like somehow everything has swung in the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. Okay. Protecting Matt. Okay. Once again, chat, we're gonna save scum. Yep. Right. Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things. 3 things? A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix. They didn't teach us. They didn't teach that to us in school, at least from what I remember. Interesting. Matt had to kill Juan, no matter what. Why? Again, why? Bro was winning. So would you say that this need came from the press conference? Yes, do you know what? Do you know? I said why then? Why Juan chose that event, that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt on guard. And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Ms. Andrews? Because I was going to set up the conference to prepare the costume. Here's the thing, chap. She said that Matt killed Juan, but she covered it up to protect him. But there's a contradiction there. Because why would she set up a conference in which Juan would give out some massive evidence that would ruin his career, but then, after seeing the crime scene and knowing it was Matt, why would she then just, you know, why would she then cover it up? If she was setting up a conference that would, if it went through, ultimately damage his career and put it in shambles, why would she then want to cover up his crime? Like, why wouldn't she just let the crime be discovered and his career be ruined anyway by him being arrested for a murder? That's a contradiction. Anyway. There we go. Snack. The important thing here is that this information was not in your testimony. I agree, Miss Andrews. Please correct your testimony, if you please. Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? Woman, you're the one who just gave a contradictory statement. Contradictory motivations. I don't know what his motive was, but I don't have. I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove I'm right. Has Mr. Ongard done something to hurt or betray you personally? Why do you ask? You were the one who helped Mr. Corrida with his press conference, and that event was supposed to bring down Mr. Ongard, yet you still helped. True. That's not trial right now, is Mr. Ongard, right? No, it's not. It's fucking her. She's in the witness stand. She's in the witness stand. We get to poke holes at her. What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. Yes, it is. Yes, it fucking is, Edgeworth. Are you mad? Are you dense? Yes, it is. Especially when it is so explicitly contradictory. Like I just said, like, Juan, the point of Juan's conference was he was going to do something that would ultimately damage and probably ruin Matt's career. And she helped set it up. But then, after she discovers his corpse and immediately blames Matt, she's then like, "Oh, I had to cover it up to help like look after Matt because I'm his manager." That's contradictory. That's conflating motivation. So what if somebody digs out some dirt and like holds a press conference that's gonna ruin his life and his career? That's fine. But murder, you're like, nah, can't let that one slide. Gotta cover that one up for Matt's career. Like hello? Is this not contradictory in motivation? Hello? Are you not embarrassed? Fuck yeah. Right. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill. Does it, though? Why do I keep doing this to myself? It's a good point. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. Ongard was, oh god, almost knocking things out of my window, chat, Jesus Christ. Taking a nap in his room. Are you telling me now that too was a lie so you could cover for Mr. Ongard? I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time. Sorry, chat messages. I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Ms. Andrews has said. Your Honor, need I just repeat what I said? There is a very clear contradiction in motivations here, Your Honor. That is the flaw. This is and they just hand waved it away. They just hand waved it away, Edgeworth. Like, they just let us hand wave it away, even though it's a perfectly valid thing to pull out. She says that she blames Matt for the murder of Juan, and that she, as his manager, to help him, covered up the murder. But then she also says that she helped Juan set up a conference to where he would spout a bunch of shit that would ruin Matt's career. Like, I'm like, what? This can't work out. This can't work out. Like, it only there's only two things, right? Two paths that should happen, and neither are possible, given what has been stated. Number one, Juan goes up to her and says, "I want to set up a press conference, so I can expose some stuff about Matt on guard." And she says, "No, I'm not letting you do that because I'm protecting my client." That logic follows through as her manager to protect him if she suspects him of murder. But that can't happen if she sets up the conference to damage him, but then says, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm covering up his murder to protect him." Like, you did one thing to protect him, but you're allowing something else that would ultimately harm and damage his... Like, no, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And on the other side of it, she does help Juan set up the conference to damage and ruin Matt's career. But then, when he's murdered and she suspects it's Matt on guard, if we're following that logic, she wouldn't then try to cover up the murder. She'd just let it fly, because she was gonna let Juan do something that would ruin Matt's career anyway. This is a contradictory statement, and I'm fucking annoyed that the judge is just there going, "Well, I can't find any flaws at all." Like, bro, what are we doing? My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. I don't know how to call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. What about the button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and the murderer fought, and during the fight, the kidnapper ripped the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume. We're talking about this button, correct? The button was found on the pleats of Matt's hakama. Isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. Sorry, chat DMs. Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. I'm going to shoot this man. I'm going to run up to the judge, hop over the bench, and I'm going to beat him to death with his gavel. The man is a vex to my life. The knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Ms. Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony. I fucking hate these people. But that button was torn off Juan during his fight with Matt. And how do you know that? When the ends of the threads on the button and the costume were matched up, they were found to fit together perfectly, or so I heard. But why would Miss Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail? Don't look at me like that just because I'm prepared and you are not. I thought I had heard this time. If there's anything to trip her up on, it has to be here, but where and what? So that I had to protect him. Hold on, I need to save real quick, chat. Right, I'm going to present some shit. Get on you. It is so contradictory. It is so contradictory. She helped to set up a conference that would damage the man's career. But then she's also saying, oh yeah, I helped to cover up his murder to protect him. It's like, you weren't protecting him before. When you were setting up a conference with his rival to damage his reputation and his career. Like, that's not protecting him. But what you really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? And at the worst possible time. Who's to say she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it? This witness could have disclosed things about Mr. On Guard at any time. Why then would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? It's the same reason why Mr. Corrida planned such an elaborate conference. Ms. Andrews wanted to cause Mr. On Guard as much damage as she possibly could. This witness bears ill will towards the defendant. Thank you! This isn't the Phoenix Wright wax philosophical power hour. It's not waxing philosophical, you fucking moron! It's a very clear and blatant contradiction in the fucking witness's testimony. How many times do I need to fucking say this shit? This is pissing me off now, Phoenix Wright. She has just stated a very clear and present contradiction that almost anybody with sense would pick up on. The person who should be looking bad in the courtroom right now is fucking Edgeworth. Because he's out here being like, oh, well, you're waxing philosophical. No, it's not. It's a very clear contradiction and motivation. Fucking Phoenix Wright, your funneling is bullshitting me. It's not solid. Don't even lie. This is another one of those moments where I wish, like, you had more freedom in Phoenix Wright instead of following its very narrow, like, funnel of how it wants you to do stuff. Because that was a very clear contradiction in terms and of witness motivation. Frustrating as hell moment again from fucking Phoenix Wright. God, give me merciful strength. Oh. That's good. How you doing? I've already given you your yogurt, so you can't sit there for too long, buddy. You wanna come in? Come on. One moment, chat. Come on. Don't just sit there, you feet. Bear with me, chat. One moment, please. And we're back. Hello, everybody. Oh, God damn you. Hold on. Ugh. There we go, Jesus. Add to soundboard. There we go. Fucking need that. Sorry, chat. My cat was sitting outside my my fucking room and was just sat there staring at me, just being like, "Hey, how we doing?" It's like, bro, are you coming in the room or not? Hmm. Right. Yep. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the death was that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. What does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly. Itchy nose. Which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Ms. Andrews. There was no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body. Got him. What is the meaning of this right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? It changes everything, bastard. Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? Purpose? We know that this button was torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposefully rip this off from the victim's body. Just refilling chat. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind. There we go, topped up. Hooked like the ASMR water pouring chat. Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? Pin the crime on guard, obviously. There is only one logical reason for something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There is no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. On Guard was set up. By the real killer, of course. Oh dear. And then the real murderer is... Who in the world is the real killer? I'm going to do our little bit of save scumming as... damn it. There we go. Bit of save scumming as per usual, chat. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. You can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end. The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard, is none other Then Adrian Andrews. Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you. You are Mr. Corrida's killer. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Like literally everything we've just been talking about, dipshit. All of the evidence points to Ms. Andrews. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? You can't test me. What about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only have been taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. What about the button that was found in Matt Takama? This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there is no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Damn, she's just getting like every time she does that, it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Like life points drain, isn't it? Just... Yeah. The only person who could have put this button onto Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which was you, yet again, Miss Andrews. And what about the empty guitar case? Now, that is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Ms. Adrian Andrews. She's cracking, chat, she's cracking. Is she, chat, is she a giant marine creature of mythology? Because she is cracking. Badum-tiss. Actually, do I have a badum-tiss? Let me check the soundboard real quick. Do I have a snare? I might have a snare. Hold on. Let me double check that real quick. I think I have a snare. Bear with me, chat. Do I this is gonna be such a waste of time, isn't it? Just fucking. Hold on. Aha! Found it, Jet. There we go. There we go. Bit delayed, but there we go. Now then, but Ms. Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case, and it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right. Is there an... Oh, damn, did I miss the fucking ad starting again? Oh my god, I'm so fucking... Oh, I'm so scrungled, chat. I'm actually so all over the place, I apologize. Absolutely scrungled I am right now. Ad break ends in 57 seconds. Cool. Alright, break's almost over, folks. Alright, ad break is over, folks. Welcome back. Beef, you're just having another snack. Oh, fuck off. Sorry, Jet. Nice, there we go. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she touched the case, they would have asked her why. So, to avoid leaving any print, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Ms. Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe that this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Ms. Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? I think we've got her now, chat. Well, how about it, Ms. Andrews? I've got her this time. You refuse to testify? There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. You're a bit fucking late. You're kind of on the stand. You're absolutely correct, Ms. Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can damage themselves. Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Yeah, it's a bit late to plead the fifth. Sorry, chat DMs again. Nice. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room, Adrian Andrews. Yes. Think hard about we just discussed. Understood? That's it. That's when Franziska planted the idea into her head. She must have told Ms. Andrews to not testify if things looked bad. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix, but there's still one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done? What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realise this as well, Your Honour. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbour a wish to murder Mr. Corrida. Okay. Miss Andrews, do you want to kill Mr. Corrida? I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. You are right there in the stand. You are literally there, and we've just gone through a whole bunch of bullshit. It's a bit late for that. You do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? True! That is incredibly true, because whilst she could plead the fifth, and that would be, I guess, fine, that is damn near, like, that's damn near a confession of guilt. That's damn near, because think about it, like, given everything we've just gone through, everything we've just discussed, all of that bullshit, why would she only now, decide to plead the fifth if it wouldn't harm her? Hmm? By pleading the fifth and deciding not to speak on the matter, like, she's essentially nailing herself to the wall. She donezo. It would be better off for her just to admit, yeah, I did harbor ill will, and cracking on from there, because this is just delaying shit. And maybe that's what she wants, but it's an admission of guilt after all of this. You don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. That doesn't matter. We've landed in the worst possible situation. Again, not really. I honestly don't think, because yeah, we're gonna have to delay this shit and get more evidence, which, whatever. But by her pleading the fifth after all of this negotiation, all of this contradiction, all this kind of statement, like, she's only pulling it out now because it makes her look bad. She's only pulling it out now because it makes her look bad. She knows it looks bad, so she's pleading the fifth. But by doing that, that is basically her saying to everyone else in the room, "I'm fucking guilty." She's donezo. She's cooked. Ms. Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof. In this situation, there is only one thing the court can do, and that is to declare a recess. I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter, and at tomorrow's trial, we don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then that's not necessary. At the trial, please continue the trial. Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't what that's about. I know you know who the real killer is. Let the trial continue. Here's what I'm confused about. Why didn't PHOENIX and Gumshoe and Edgeworth as well, because Edgeworth knows about this as well. They've talked about this, I'm pretty sure. Why didn't they go behind the scenes before the trial started to the judge's office and go, "Listen, Your Honor, we've got a situation here. There's a hostage crisis going on, and if we don't get some kind of a verdict today, we're gonna lose the hostage. We're gonna lose Maya." Like, why hasn't that happened? You would do that. You would, you have to let the judge know and be like, "There's a bit of a situation going on here. We're gonna go with the trial as usual, but if you can give us some kind of verdict today, you may save a life." Or delay the trial and keep it going until we get enough stuff going on, It's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is. It is not impossible for this trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you... It's true, Ms. Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation was something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. It's true, but actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Ms. Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. Very funny. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what is about Edgeworth Day, but I can't get a good read of him. Is he a friend or foe? I just don't know. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Ms. Andrews, if you please. I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in a messy state. One, he was sitting slumped over and tired-looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he wasn't dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. So the story changes again, which... She's guilty, like, come on now. She's guilty. Her story has changed again, and she previously was willing to plead the fifth. She's guilty. So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony? I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Please be careful here. You cannot find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left. The fact that this testimony exists should surely be enough that she's fucking guilty. What the heck is going on in that brain of yours? Now then, Mr. Wright, you may... begin your cross-examination. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. Okay, yep. You thought he fainted? Thought he was asleep at first, but then the room was such a messy state, I thought maybe he had gotten into a fight with someone. And that's when you went to pour the glass of juice. Yes, he was always... he always had a hard time waking up, so Juan always had a glass of tomato juice to drink. What happened next? He wasn't dead, that's when he knocked over the flower vase. Okay. And how did you come to realize that he was in fact dead? Shook him over and over, never got a response, so I set the glass down on the dresser and tried to take his pulse. Shocked and staggered backwards, and knocked the flower vase over. Okay. This is the absolute end for both sides, and Adrian is letting her guard down. Chance yet to kill the prosecution's case. Glass of juice didn't really put on this. In other words, Wright, be quiet and listen. Again, I'm sorry, I just point out, like, I'm sorry, you said before, like, you poured that shit to calm yourself after you realized he was dead, and now suddenly you're saying you poured it because you thought he was fainting. That's a bit of a convenient twist of your tale, madam. Or was it messy because of your fight with Mr. Corrida? Like, I'm sorry, she dug herself into a grave here. Like, and there's... Like, anyone with any sense would be like, she said one thing, and now she's saying another. And she tried to plead the fifth before. She's blatantly lying about this shit. His hilt tilted forward, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping. Or did that sound a little odd? He was sitting slumped over. Well, he certainly slumped over there, yeah. Good heavens, okay. Time of death. 8:15, strongest scarf, start with a knife, fingerprints, fingerprints in the grave, picture in the hallway. I saw him sitting like that. I thought he was. The thought that he was dead wouldn't cross my mind. Thought he had just fainted or something. That what did cross your mind? I thought maybe he had smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix, and then felt tired after his rampage, or he decided to take a nap. To be honest, I thought he had fainted or something, so I poured him juice, and I realised that he was dead. That's when I knocked the flowers over. Tomato juice, okay. Rhea slumped over. Oh, that's not it. I report on myself. That's when I walked in through and saw it such a messy state. Sitting slumped over. I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour some juice. Or at least he was dead, that's why I knocked the flower vase over. Myself, as far as I walk through into my messy state. We're just sitting slumped over and tired looking. Bumped over. Just sitting there with his head tilted forward, eyes closed, like he looks in the photo, yeah? See, Phoenix says that sounds a little odd, but I'm not sure why he'd say that. I'm confused. Press the wrong fucking button, son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm not sure why Phoenix would say that. Why would you say that, Phoenix? What, is there a hint there? Okay, if we're assuming then that he was already, like, she thought he was just fainted, but he was actually dead, then if we're going with that side of the story, he'd still have the button missing and it would be on Matt's Arcana, which means the button would still be missing, which would then mean the knife would still be in his chest. So let's try that then. Fuck you, Phoenix Wright. That doesn't make sense. She says, when I saw him sitting like that, she thought that he was, the thought that he was dead didn't cross her mind. But if we're operating on the idea that it was Matt that killed him, and that, yeah, like, it's not making sense to me, chat. It's contradictory, because she's saying she thought he fainted, but by this logic, the knife would have already been in him. Fuck you, Phoenix Wright. Am I not allowed to draw the same conclusion from, like, that kind of shit? So I show the photo of the murder scene with him with the knife in him, and that's an acceptable way to lead into how could you think he was fainted? Here he is with a knife in him. But picking the knife itself. See, this is something else that Phoenix Wright does that annoys me sometimes, is that sometimes you're allowed to pick more than one piece of evidence that leads to the same conclusion. You can pick one piece of evidence or another piece of evidence, but both link into the same path. But other times you just can't. And it doesn't make sense to me. Like, so if we want to prove that how could anybody think he was fainted when he had a fucking knife in his chest, picking the photo of the crime scene with his knife in his chest works, which is fair and makes sense, but actually choosing the knife itself, which wouldn't, to me, naturally lead into a conversation about how could you think he was dead when this was sticking out of his fucking chest, that's not allowed? It's, again, I like that. I've talked about this before. I like the Phoenix Wright games. I enjoy my time with them, but they are incredibly frustrating because of just how often they want to funnel you down their specific path. And sometimes that path is a bit wider, and sometimes that path is just, no, dickhead, you're going to follow what we say, and that's the only way to do it. It's confusing sometimes that we can pick more than one piece of evidence, but it leads down the same route. But other times you can only pick one piece of evidence and that's it. It's so confusing. Like, either just have one piece of evidence that leads down the way, or allow for that broader path of picking another piece of evidence that takes you down that road. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating that Phoenix Wright can't seem to decide its fucking mind whether it wants you to be able to pick, like, more than one piece of evidence that leads you down that same route, or if it's just, no, you'll pick this one piece of evidence step by step by step as according to how we've done it. You get no exploration, you get no kind of, like, your own process of being like, oh, well, what about this evidence then? And that taking you down that way. It's so frustrating. It really is. There's a fucking, I've never played them, but I've watched my brother play them. There are these Sherlock Holmes games. They came out like the PS3/PS4, and they have a system in those games that's really interesting, where you find evidence, and then you're allowed to kind of put the pieces together and come to your conclusions about who committed the crimes and why and with what. And like that process, it does allow you to make mistakes. That game does allow you to get stuff wrong. And I think it also allows you to kind of, like, slip down the wrong path and maybe pick the wrong person who committed the crime, or pick the wrong murder case, or murder weapon, that kind of thing, you know. And whilst I wouldn't, it's hard to kind of explain or kind of imagine it working, but I'd want something along those lines, where where Phoenix Wright is broad enough to say, you found this evidence, you found this evidence, you've got these people who are involved, you've got, like, these motivations from talking to people, piece it together. Like, piece it together before the trial, and then in trial, I don't know, you have to then, like, present your evidence, and when somebody counters, that's when you can pull out other bits and bobs that you have. It's like something like that. Like Phoenix Wright needs to be a little bit broader, I think. It needs to be a bit broader with how it wants to do the investigations and shit like that, because just like constantly funneling you down this one singular route, that would be fine enough if they also didn't then be like, oh yeah, you can pick another piece of evidence and that takes you down the same route. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand the game design here. It's kind of annoying me. Like, and again, getting back to the central point, pick a photo of Corrida at the crime scene, knife in his chest to obviously say, like, hey, how could anybody think this man had fainted? There's a knife in his chest. Fair. That makes sense. What doesn't make sense is that I can't pick that same knife and go, how could you think he had fainted when this was in his chest? Phoenix Wright needs to decide if it wants you to if it wants you to pick more than one evidence and let you go down the route, or consistently just pick one piece. And I don't know if this is just a case of the writing in the second game that's made it kind of stick out a lot more to me currently right now. But it's annoying me. It's annoying me. I like Phoenix Wright, but holy shit, the way it goes about this is it annoys me the way it does. It's a vexation. It does vex me how it handles this shit. Now then, rant over. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No, not at all. Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body. I hate the judge. I still hate the judge, by the way. Isn't it, Your Honor? There is a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Corrida's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that there was a dead man. I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink. Your point is, Ms. Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer. She's broken. It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt on guard, is not guilty after all. That's impossible, you're wrong. Ms. Andrews, try to have some composure. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan, mm-hmm. But you were the one who refused to testify, and your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself. It's because... Ms. Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you? I refuse to testify. Mm-hmm. Send her away. Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt on guard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Did I miss another thing telling me there was an ad break? Son of a bitch! I'm so shit at this, chat. I apologize. Why am I'm so locked in on Phoenix, right? I'm so locked in. I keep missing the announcements in chat telling me that there's a fucking ad. Fucking bear with, chat. Good grief. Right, ads end in 20 seconds. You're not shit, bestie, just locked in. Thank you, I appreciate it. There we go. Right, ads are over. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you. Right, is it over? Have we found the truth at last? I fucking hope so. This has been going on for a while. What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. Not unheard of, bro. It's not unheard of to some people to just deny their guilt. Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt on guard. Oh god, give me strength. I'm going to kill myself, Edgeworth. Your Honour, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. For the love of God, end this, please. End this. We are almost there. We have her. We have her. Just end it, bro. Come on, what are we doing? The reason's quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. If this fucking court case goes on any longer, I'm going to have a fit. The absolute real truth. What are you, witness? Don't you understand yet? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt on guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. I was told if I spoke that it would be all over and Matt would never be declared guilty. Can't speak about it. Interesting. Franziska von Karma. Do you remember Phoenix? Ms. Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another, because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself. Ms. Andrews is... She was tossed a lifesaver by Ms. von Karma. Ms. Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now. Fucking von Karma again. It's the first time I've ever come across anything like this. Fucking von Karma messing up my shit. But Ms. Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get our not guilty. That is my only priority. Me, I'm begging you. Oof, gee, this is rough. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? The court can't continue on like this, therefore I'd like to hear what you intend to do. Well, I still have to do what I'm supposed to say. Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime. Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else it could be except the woman crying over there, right? What will you do? I'm going to save. She needs to testify. I want herself to do it like this, not when she's making a mess, making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you are really hiding. Mr. On Guard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to go? That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this, however. Here we fucking go. What is it now, Edgeworth? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. This witness, how shall I put this? She has an illness. Where are we going with this? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past, true. She did try and take her life. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. True, we have the evidence, testifying that she did in fact try and take her life. That's the second part of the suicide. Oh. What will you do now, witness? You know what I am about to do, don't you? It's the second part of the file. The true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews, the secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. If people find out. Where are we going with this, Edgeworth? If you're going to say you would choose death, then that is of no concern to me. Damn! Fucking ruthless! However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips, no matter what I have to do. So will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. He's putting the nails to her. Jesus. She's getting the fucking hammers and nails put to her. Another cross-examination? Oh, I really thought he had fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. So why would you do that? Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man. It might take this court a little while to understand, but here we go. This is the truth. The real killer is Matt. Scumbag of a man, I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. So Ms. Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, in the chest with the knife. However, she didn't do it with a murder in mind, she did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime. How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence with the cross-examination. Okay, I realised he was dead when I formulated my plan. Made a dash back to Matt's room and I stabbed him with a knife on the button. Just when I finished, I was in a bit of an inconvenience, you say. An inconvenience? There was a woman with a camera at the ready loitering in the hallway. That'll be Lotta. There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready pacing back and forth. That's old bag. I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. That's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. How'd be chat? You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you? I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there. What is this big secret? Oh, she doesn't know the secret. Right. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. You could tell from the state of the room that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck, but that scarf is a part of the Gem Ninja's costume, so didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well either. That's why I thought I'd wake him up, and went to pour the juice. Interesting. When I realised he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. What's this plan you had? I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because, one, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button. First thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. Oh, so you could get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, returned to the scene of the crime. Hold on a second. What, she says she put the costume on after she tried to return to the room after doing the stabbing. Oh. If she had taken that knife while she wasn't wearing the costume, then it would have put fingerprints all over the damn thing. Her fingerprints. Ooh, So you're the one to stab the victim with that knife. It gives me goosebumps to think about it now, what a horrible thing I did, but at the time I couldn't control my own body. So something. Okay, but again, she's saying that she's saying that she stabbed him, but then she's saying she only put the costume on after she tried to escape the room and notice Old Bag and Lodder there, which means if she did the stabbing before she put the costume on, her fingerprints would be all over the knife. It doesn't make sense. Why are we just moving past this game? Like, why are we moving past this? There is a piece of contradictory evidence that we know is contradictory evidence, because we've previously stated this shit before. If she only put the costume on before making her final escape from the room, then her fingerprint would be all over the fucking knife. It doesn't make sense. The real criminal is Matt Bongard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Francesca, she said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, it doesn't, but pop off, Your Honour. Fucking doesn't. We can be certain she is not the real killer. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Ms. Andrews of anything. There is a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. Cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. Damn, the judge just fucking left. Everybody just fucking dipped out. Didn't want an acquittal. Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. That card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Mr. Wright also asked about this. I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remembered just now. I found this in the room on that day. Interesting. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there next to him. I found that card next to the victim's body. Suppose it must have unconsciously slipped into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right? But it's still a strange card if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why. That card, give it to me, hurry. Where are we going with this, Edgeworth? Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This, I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. What in the world is it? What does it mean? It's like a seashell or something, isn't it? To be continued. Now, where are we going with this, Edgy Poo? What's the significance of the card? Oh, we're back in the office. March 22nd, 5:24 PM. Wright and Co. Law offices. Oh god, no. There, Pearls. I can't take it anymore. It'll be alright, everything may still work out. It fucking better be, otherwise I'm rioting. The condition was that we had to get a not guilty verdict, and so far the kidnapper has kept his word and hasn't hurt Maya. And he won't because Mr. On Guard hasn't been given a guilty sentence yet. Poor girl. We don't have time to stand around crying, we have to get going. You're right. Mystic Maya is in much more pain than I am. That's right, so... It's my boy! Oh, thank God, Gumshoe. Please give me some information before I fucking defenestrate myself from this game. Mr. Scruffy Detective. Looks like Detective Gumshoe has been dubbed Mr. Scruffy Detective in Pearl's book now. Just plain old Mr. Dick Gumshoe now. And I came to talk to you, pal. We're kind of busy right now. What are you going to do from now on? What do you mean, pal? Well, you've been fired, right? So now do you have a new job lined up yet? What am I supposed to do now, pal? I don't have anything coming in at all until my next payday. You don't have another payday. Guess that means I'm just gonna have to work. What? You'll be searching for things that will prove Mr. On Guard's innocence all day, right? Oh, guess Gumshoe works for us now. Lots of experience in investigating and watching over people's places. I'm great at making really simple meals. Take care of it all. Let's let Mr. Scruffy Detective take care of things. Instant noodles, fair enough then. Why am I surrounded by people who only eat cheap, unhealthy foods? Oh yes, Phoenix, because you can fucking afford, like, healthy shit, can't you? Fucking get a grip, fucking Phoenix. You will eat your instant noodles and your fast food and you will like it, my guy, because it's either that or starve. Right then. That was the first time I've ever seen Mr. Edgeworth act like that. Never thought he'd say something like he didn't care if Ms. Andrews killed herself. He said that? That's horrible. But because of him doing that, we finally got the truth. Ms. Andrews' last testimony, I wonder if that was the truth. I'll give you that there was nothing strange in her testimony itself, but I still think there is something fundamentally wrong with the whole thing. You mean about that thing, pal? Why would she want to, no, I mean almost need to frame Mr. Ongard? I couldn't figure that out from anything she said all day. Then you're saying that testimony was a lie? Not a lie, per se. It just feels like there's more here than meets the eye. Or that's what Edgeworth would like us to believe. That's such a dirty trick. Second chance, sorry about this. Just checking my messages. Even that woman prosecutor was better than that. Franziska von Karma almost elbowed my fucking drink. Fucking Jesus. Speaking of Ms. von Karma, do you have any more information on her condition? Wasn't she shot this morning? True, I forgot about that. It's been a while. Yeah, she got fucking shot in the shoulder. Ms. von Karma was shot today on the way to the trial by a pistol. She's going to be fine, right? I mean, Edgeworth said she was in stable condition, but... yeah, shot in the shoulder, so she's okay and still hanging in there. They should have been taking the bullets out, so she's probably resting at the hospital. Which one? Well, I was kind of thinking about it. Fucking I would! There's a very clear correlation between her getting shot in this case, I feel. You actually got a heart, don't you? She like she was being tortured to death, not being able to go to the trial today. So maybe it'd be good for her if you went and let her whip you for a bit. I mean, I don't know if she'd be able to whip, depending on which arm she got shot in. Or shoulder. Let's go let her whip us, Nick. I'm definitely not going to. Hospital is... oh god, no. Oh god. Who let Franziska go to the hottie clinic? Oh no, don't send me back here. Don't send me back here, please. I'll never come back to this place. Yeah. Director Hottie, ho. Why are you still here? Can I help you? You can tell me, yes, Director Hottie. Oh shit, hi Edgeworth, welcome. Yes, I'm Director Hottie, ho. You're the man from this morning. Yes, what is it, Director, Franziska. How is Franziska von Karma? You don't need to worry, yes, she's in good hands, because you see, I'm personally taking good care of her, yes, hee. And that surgery, it went well. This man does, like, cocaine, like, between bits, doesn't he? Like, before he does shit, he just gets a good old line going and then cracks on, don't he? Looks like Edgeworth doesn't know about this direct and his secrets. She looks so pitiful, absolutely terrified, yes. But I understand, yes. Her opponent was a gun. Yes, that's definitely a way to phrase that, Director. Her opponent was a gun. And when I snuck up on her real secret like, she would scream really loud. When I do that, she'd whip me with her whip. Chat, this man disgusts me. This man disgusts me, chat. Well, look who it is. Go back to your room. You're so mean, my frisky Friska. Too bad he didn't get shot. And what are those tulips doing in your hands, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I was shot in front of the courthouse in my right shoulder. Hey, just like I did. No big deal, this sort of thing happens all the time. I even had the full intentions of running the trial this morning. But that would have been too much for you. There's no need to act tough in front of us, you know. Regardless, I was dragged here by that man over there. He was so unyielding, one has to wonder if he was simply interested in stealing my case. It was the only logical course of action, given the bullet was, you know, fucking in her shoulder and shit. But by taking over the case, I found myself having to clean up after you and that irresponsible, deal you made. I think I know what deal he's referring to. Ms. Von Karma, you made a deal with Ms. Andrews yesterday, didn't you? You know exactly what you mean. In order to make sure you got your guilty verdict on Mr. On Guard, you told Ms. Andrews to not testify in court today. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you have proof that I made such a deal? You're denying it? It looks like you were lucky. Fuck off, lucky. Listen, sometimes I'm lucky, but I'm always winning, okay? Unlike you, madam. If I had been in court today, this trial would already be over. Really? Because the record says differently, Franziska. The record kind of says differently as to what would happen if we were in court again together. It decidedly seems that if we were in court again, you would have lost. Take the L. Get over it. All while hiding Miss Andrews' own crime. That isn't my problem. Whether she had tampered with the evidence or not, I have only one objective. To find On Guard guilty of murder, and that is exactly why she is a dogshit prosecutor. And why, inevitably, she will just keep losing. Because if all you care about is getting the guilty verdict, you will try to ignore facts, and it just makes you and your client look worse. Like, if the only thing you give a fuck about is getting that guilty verdict, it's going to bite you in the arse. The ends justify the means. Mr. PHOENIX Wright, the end justifies the means. Ms. Von Karma, Adrian Andrews believed you when you said if you don't tell the truth of what really happened, then On Guard will be found guilty. And what does that have to do with me? Because of that, she is now in danger of being found guilty herself, all because she believed in your words until the very end. That feels nothing to do with me. She's just a weak person, that's all. But you had to know she was. I think visiting hours here are about over. So if you'll excuse me. Swear to God. Swear to fucking God, chat. Infuriating motherfuckers. Oh, another ad break. God damn it, did I miss the ad break again, or is it just not telling me when that shit pops up now? I'm so sorry, chat. Ugh, God, I must be just so fucking locked in. Time is it? 11:30. Okay. So we're almost at the end of we're almost at the end of today's stream. We'll keep going on let me. Ads will end in 40 seconds, chat. Oh God, big yawn. Sorry, chat. Break. Have you checked if the ad thing is working? I mean, it should be. Because I'm getting the notification telling me when the ad break ends. So I can only surmise then. Welcome back, people. I can only surmise then, Bestie, that it is in fact telling me when I'm getting ads, like when they start. I think I'm just missing that notification because I'm fucking locked in. But yes, let us crack on. Right. There we go. What's wrong? Why did she suddenly cut you off? Probably because she thinks I had the advantage in that argument. Damn fucking straight. Edgeworth. Yeah. Let's talk, Edgy boy. What happened today at the trial, Edgeworth? That was not like you at all. I mean, I know you knew about Ms. Andrews' condition. You could have made her testify as many times as you wanted, but to go that far... But she wouldn't testify about that until I said something. Listen, right, the courtroom is a garden of judgment. I am putting myself on the line when I stand in there, and that's why I made the witness do the same. It's only natural. By the way, Edgeworth, you were really angry in court today. That's rare for you. Yeah. He was pissed off. He was very pissed off about that card, but I want to know why. That card, what in the world is it? Deary me. You mean this? Listen, right. This is top secret information. You absolutely cannot leak this. A special investigations team have existed for a number of years, but few know of it. Okay. Their task is to find the owner of this card, a man called Shelly the Killer. And just as his name states, he is a killer, an assassin, the best at that. Was placed next to the victim at the time of the murder. Ms. Andrews was carrying it. So who is this Shelly the Killer? The Killer is the name of a long-standing line of assassins. The first appeared about 100 years ago, I hear. Shelley is the professional name of the third heir to the De Killer name. So because his professional name is Shelley, he leaves his card with a shell on them. He has a habit of making sure to leave a card by the body of his victims. Why would he do something like that? We think it is a part of his duty to his clients. If he leaves a card, then his clients can be assured it was he who killed the victim. It also serves as insurance against any charges being pushed onto his clients. It's already on it. Yeah. We've been denied our yaoi for too long. The killer values the trust between his clients and himself above all else. It seems that this is one honourable assassin with a moral conscience. Guess that even honourable assassins can exist. So you think that this assassin, you think he's the one who did the killing in this case? It would appear that way. Oh dear. The discovery of the card basically confirms it, wouldn't you agree? That does sound pretty solid. Yep. Shelly the Killer, huh? Very good emoji work there, bestie. I noticed something at the trial today. You're behaving in a very strange manner. Is something the matter? Like you wouldn't believe, Edgeworth. I could tell him. She's been kidnapped. What does the kidnapper want? An acquittal. I have no idea. You probably should have fucking told Edgeworth before the shit went down, Phoenix. You can't have a hostage situation tied to a court case and not inform, like, the judge and the prosecution about this shit. I will prepare a rescue team as soon as possible and resolve this by tomorrow. Really? Did you hear that, Mr. Nick? Mr. Edgeworth is going to... Stop trying to console me, Edgeworth. I don't need your pity. Damn, Phoenix. There's no way you can find her. We don't even have a single lead to go on. There's only one way to save her. I have to get an acquittal somehow. It's the only way. Trust FML, Phoenix. Drop them draws. Right, listen, you need to know something. Juana Corrido was killed by Shelly the Killer, and a client who ordered the job is Matt on Guard, your own client. If you want to continue your investigation, you will need this. The hotel right now is restricted to police personnel only, as we are looking for any clues that might lead us to Shelly the Killer. But if you take this with you to the hotel, I'm sure they will let you enter. Received from Edgeworth allows bearer to freely investigate the crime scene. Good. In any case, I must attend to the preparation for Maya's rescue team. Thank you, Edgeworth. We'll meet again if anything should happen, and if you'll excuse me. Mr. Nick? Do you think Mr. On Guard's hired an assassin? He doesn't have a psych lock. True? All I ask is you make it home safe and sound. Date, unknown. Time, unknown. Location, unknown. Being kidnapped can be a little clumsy. Clumsy enough to drop a card like this for me. And even though he said he was an assassin, I bet he's just making that up like how Nick does with everything in court. Let's try out this card trick with the card I found. We can move, chat. We're free. Date unknown, time unknown, location unknown. What the hell am I looking at? That's a fucking big-ass telly, excuse you? I'm not in the hotel anymore. Are those videos over there? I'll worry about that later. For now, I should be looking for clues. That way I can show them to Sis and maybe get her... That's a fucking big-ass telly, chat! Where's the power button? I would so die happy, Samurai fan. If I ever get to see the Nickel Samurai on a TV like this. But dying, all things considered. Yeah, it's a fucking... It's a big-ass setup. An antenna, I guess. A VCR? Oh, a lot of electronic gadgets here. What's an antenna doing here? Oh, that's a fucking weird-ass... Like, putting it inside the building. Oh, god damn it, Maya. Hold on one shotgun cocking second. That's a photo of Celeste Impacts. With love, Celeste. That's the dead manager. It's a figurine doing on a sofa in a place like this. It's a bear. What are the cuts and slits on it? Some kind of puzzle or something. Curious. So dark here I can barely see, but these kind of feel like videotapes, all of them. Locked, of course. Doesn't look like I can use the card to open this door. Little hole at the bottom of the door. If only I was a little skinnier, then maybe I'd be able to crawl through here. See, I want to know what this is about. What is with Blood's face? What is with the stitch and going down his chops? Seems that your Mr. Wright is truly concerned about you. Yes. For now, I would suggest you remain cooperative. If you cannot, there are ways in which I can help you. Dead men tell no tales is how the saying goes, correct? I'm almost certain I told you on our first meeting I am an assassin. People are not always who they appear to be. Interesting. Yes, Pearls? Got caught up in my thoughts about Maya's situation. Mr. Wedgeworth has left, you know. I guess for now I have no choice but to believe in Mr. Engard. But I think I should listen to his story one more time. That's good going to. Let's get the fuck out of here. Detention center. March 22nd, detention center. Business room. Visiting towers are open for the day? Oh. I have too many questions I need to ask. I'm PHOENIX WRIGHT, a lawyer for one of the, no, Mr. Wright, you say. There's a message here for you. A message? It's from Matt on guard. Is it something really important? To Mr. Lawyer Dude, I've got something really important to tell you. Oh boy, here we go. So actually, I have a favour to ask of you. I have this cat named Chew. I didn't put out a lot of food when I left the house, so he's probably pretty hungry. You think you could drop by my house and feed Chew for me, dude? My house is just a little ways down from the hotel, alright? This is terrible, let's hurry, we have to feed this cat. I agree with Pearl. I'm sure poor Chew's stomach is growling by now. Yeah, I think we should go feed the cat. Client's request is a request. I guess I should check up on the cat. We're going to check up on the cat. And it's just down the road from the hotel? Well, I guess we should go to the hotel. Oh, 22nd Gate Water Hotel lobby. Right, Mr. Nick. Let's look for clues. We have to, for Mystic Maya's sake. Gandalf? Do not devalue my name and turn it into a gasp, you spiky-headed pettifogger. What the fuck's a pettifogger? Hold on, chat. I need to... Hold on, what the fuck is a... Define pettifogger. What the fuck? Pettifogger, a derogatory term for a dishonest, unethical, or low-ranking lawyer who uses underhanded methods. Yo! Yo, Old Bag's got terminology. What the fuck? That's crazy. Oh, I love that. I actually love that, chat. That's actually hilarious. That actually hilarious. Fucking Old Bag's pulling out terminology. Because of you, I've been made to look like the bad guy again, although I did get a piece of gum from Edgy Boy. Just to be promised. I don't want to hear about how I awakened the wild beast in Old Bag. Old Bag. Keep your hands off me. This helmet is airtight. No air gets in, no air gets out. Have you been huffing carbon dioxide? Then why do you keep putting it on? Don't think you can get me to move with silly questions. You're going to have to defeat me if you want to get by. Look, let's see if this coerces her. It's a worthless piece of edgy poo. Let's see here. Would you please allow this unsophisticated young person to conduct his investigation? Yours truly, Miles Edgeworth. Truly. That man's good at flattery. Fine, but only because Edgy Poo said so. You understand? Sure. I just thought of something I have to do. Remember, no messing around. You do anything bad, and I won't let you off the hook. Looks like she has strong feelings for Mr. Edgeworth. That may be, but you know nothing's gonna come of it. That's so mean, Mr. Nick. Feelings are meant to be told and shared. I mean, sure, Pearl. I can agree to that. Every time we talk about love, I always end up with a handprint on my face somehow. Anyway, let's continue our investigation. One little thing before I forget. You can't go into On Guard's room today. The police's main investigation team is going to be in there all day, you hear? Okay. So don't go in there. Set one foot in there, and you'll face the wrath. A windy old bag. Let's go feed the cat. March 22nd, On Guard Mansion living room. It's dark. I'll go turn on the light. Whoa! So this is what a star's house looks like. Must be nice to be rich, for real. Come on, Mr. Nick, let's find Shoo the kitty cat. Oh. Yeah. Deconfirmed! God, look at the fucking cat, chat! Look at the fucking cat! Absolutely adorable. No notes. No notes whatsoever. Unfathomably amazing. Actually so for real, for real. Undescribably amazing. Hell yeah. Absolutely incredible. What a lovely cat. Hello, Chew. This is the exact thing we needed to cheer up Pearl, I think. Cat seems to like pearls. Pardon me. Fucking shoot him! Shoot him! May I help you with something, mister? We're lawyers, actually. I'm Mr. On Guard's lawyer. Then you must be Mr. Wright. Chat. Kill this man. Phoenix, drop the motorbike on his head. Destroy this man. Destroy him. Remove him from Earth. Atomize him. It's a pleasure to meet your wonderful self. I am the family butler, John. John Doe, is it? Is it? Is it really? Is it in fact John fucking Doe? You stranger. You strange person. Stranger. Unzip him. Fucking, I'm gonna cut him open. Forget unzipping him. I'm gonna fucking put this man open. I'm gonna beat him and hope he spills out like a piñata. I'm gonna grab a baseball bat and say it's my fucking quinceañera. First and foremost, the cat. It's a very cute cat you've got here. It is my duty to take care of him. The master rather fancies Shoo. And, anything else? No, not especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of the family cat. Then I guess I don't need this piece of scrap paper anymore. Matt's note, crumpled into a ball and thrown away. Mr. Doe, how long have you served at this residence? Well, sir, I would have to say maybe about a year. And, anything else? Nope, not especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of himself and his affairs. You know, I would have thought Mr. On Guard the kind to have a maid over a butler. True. You must know all sorts of things about Mr. On Guard, right? Honestly, sir, I don't believe my master is capable of such a foul deed as murder. Hmm. And, anything else? No, not especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of the master or his affairs. How typically butler-like, as it were. I'm afraid I must take my leave for now. We should probably get going ourselves. Ah, so young and yet already so accomplished, a master of law. There's a lot to be proud of in being a butler in charge of a house and all. Thank you for the compliment, sir. People are not always who they appear to be. If you'll excuse me. I would like to vote we take the cat with us. I do. Cat flap, chat, cat flap there. The small door at the bottom of the bigger door, Mr. Nick. I bet it's for Mr. Onguard's cat to use. Oh, you mean shoe? Locks tight. I guess that's to keep people like me from entering it. No, Nick, kick the door open. Kick it now. There's another door over there. Don't go wandering off over there, Mr. Nick. I know how Maya feels when I tell her to stop playing around. No! Fucking no! Open the door! Kick it down! A giant bicycle is flying through the air. That bicycle pearls is one where you don't have to pedal and it moves on its own. Sorry to disappoint you, it can't fly. That's too bad. Oh, sorry, pearls. There's a giant cooking hearth here. It's actually a fireplace. How are they different, Mr. Nick? You know, I've never actually seen a hearth before, come to think of it. You should come and visit Fey Manor, then I'll show you one when you do. Hell yeah. I'll go to Fey Manor any day of the week, especially if it's like Maya and Pearl like vibing. Oh god, I'm doing that. It's a very comfortable and spacious lounge set. I wonder if famous stars drop by and sit around and have a good time. In any case, I don't really belong here, do I? With me feeling inferior today. There are masks here. One in the middle is the Steel Samurai, the one next to it is the Pink Princess and the Evil Magistrate. They fought many battles against the backdrop of Neo-Old Tokyo. You know a lot about Steel Samurai, Mr. Nick. I don't know whether to laugh or cry that I know more about that show than a kid. I don't know, vibes be vibes, bro. I know more about shit than my nephew, like, just how it be. Right, looks like we've got nothing else to do here, sadly, so time to leave. However, I will be returning to hopefully violently kick down that fucking door. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel, Viola Hall. Look, we're the only ones here. Yeah, the hotel seems so busy somehow. Probably because the police team are scrounging for clues about the killer. Hallway. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel Hall. Hello, Lotta. City boy! You're still here, reckon course. An investigative photographer eats or starves on her ability to snap up the scoop here. And this hotel just has an aura of mystery. You know, like something's always about to happen. But do you have a camera? Given? A photographer's gotta have cameras out the ear like corn to be a real pro, you know? So I'm hanging around here. Speaking of cameras and feeding them out, do you have mine? You bred me? Would you please take a look at this? Hold on. Do I not have a camera yet? I thought I did. I thought I got a camera back. I thought we got a camera from fucking old bag. Did we not? Okay. Oh, do we have to? Do we have to talk to her about it? Hold on. What's with that red-coated prosecutor, anyhow? The guy told me it was evidence and refused to give it back to me. That's how it is. Redcoat, you're that Redcoat's friend, ain't you? Put in a few good words and get me my camera back. Oh, fuck it. We can try. Nag the guy real good for about 5 hours, and I guarantee you he'll give it back. Why don't you do your own dirty work? I want to ask you about the night of the murder. You really gonna shell out the books for the info I got? You were loitering in this hallway the night of the murder, were you not? Kinda, but brace yourself, Phoenix. Here it comes. I didn't exactly hang around here the entire time, you know. Followed a few stars around, got a few autographs, shook a few hands. Oh dear, sorry chat. Nice. We got a message pop up, sorry chat. Had a soda pop with a few of them too. Looks like she wasn't here the entire time that night. Okay. Security lady also wasn't in this hallway the whole time either. I guess this means there's no one who can tell us who came and went that night. Interesting. So about the note that was inside your camera case. The ditty I wrote. Can I believe what you've written? You mean the stuff about Elmgard shoving his manager lady onto Corrida? I reckon you best not be believing that. What? Like, I sort of wrote that on a whim, you know, writing whatever came to mind. Whatever came to mind? When you get down to it, it's just a lot of random bull-dooders. What's with you? Why are you staring at me like my grandpa used to? And why do you look like you suddenly got older too? Or am I just shrinking here? I reckon it's time for me to get going. Tabloid photographer without a camera is just a tabloid, huh? I guess so. Keep yourself together out there. I'm coming to see you in court tomorrow. Okay. See you then. And you too, little one. Keep up the good work, okay? Okay. Don't be picky about you. Make sure you do all your homework. And if you happen to find yourself a camera, could you please just leave already? God damn, I didn't even get the chance to finish, damn. Alright. Let's check out Corrida's room then. See if we have anything new here, seeing as how On Guard's room is not occupiable. What? Who? What is that otherworldly, ghastly moaning? I hate evil ghosts. I think it's a ghost. Maybe it's a demon. Wendy? We just saw you down in the main area. What are you doing? What are you doing here, Wendy? What are you calling a demon brat? Did Phoenix just say zoinks? Did this man just say zoinks? Oh, is that another ad break? Son of a bitch. Okay, I must not be getting the fucking notification telling me that these shits are popping up. That's gotta be what because I swear I didn't see any notifications on about like I swear I didn't see any notifications about ad breaks. Oh well, we'll just have to vibe for now, chat. Ad break will end in 20 seconds, chat. Big sip. 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Thank you. Who are you calling an alien? Oh, it's just you, old bag. What are you doing here? What is wrong with youngins today? I came down here to pay my respects to my poor Juan, and you're disturbing me? Right, what time is it? Right, it is 4 minutes to midnight, chat. So, I think we're due to save. There we go, and I think we're due to call it a day there. There we go. Alright, that's that all done. Right then, chat. 1 second. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Happy Monday. Thank you everybody who came, everybody who stayed, everybody who lurked, everybody who dipped in and out, everybody who was active in chat. Appreciated. Once again, I appreciate people who talk in chat. It gives me something to bounce off of, gives me some extra flow for the streams. Tomorrow we will be cracking on with our continuing adventure in Bravely Default. Wednesday we will be continuing with our adventures in Titanfall 2. Thursday we'll be back on Bravely Default once again. Friday we'll be finishing up with PHOENIX WRIGHT, and fingers crossed, this Friday we might even finish the case. And for those of you who maybe didn't see, or those of you who just want the update, the poll in the Discord has ended, and in an overwhelming and unexpected 100% vote, you've all voted that once we finish Titanfall 2, our next game on the Wednesday streams will be Gears of War, which I'm very prepared for that one. I've played Gears of War before. Fun fact, I played it on my Xbox One. I played the remastered version, not the first remaster, not the second one. They did the remaster, the original remaster they did. Played it on my Xbox One, and then I actually played the second and third one as well. I'm pretty sure I played them back to back. And I additionally as well have Gears of War Judgment to finish as well. So yeah, when we do play Gears of War, it'll be like with Titanfall, where it's a game I've played before, but it's a game I've not played for a while. So I'm very much excited and looking forward to re-experiencing such a banger of a game. And yeah, bandanaed up, so I'm prepared for that shit. I'm so locked in. So yeah, once again, thank you everybody who came, everybody who stayed, everybody who lurked, who dipped in and out. Thank you for anybody who was active in chat. Again, your communication and your input adds some more flow to stream, and I appreciate it so much. So thank you so much for any of that. Thank you to anybody who subbed, and thank you to anybody who isn't subbed and had to endure the ads. Thank you so much for putting up with the fucking ads. But yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow for the afternoon beef. Bravely Default. So I will see you all then. Arrivederci. Farewell. Adios. Buenas noches. Guten Abend? Good afternoon? No, it's still afternoon. Guten Nacht? I'm going to go with that one. But yeah, I will see you all then. So everybody take care, farewell, and bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye, I'll see you then. Bye-bye, see you. Gute Nacht. Thank you, Zanasa. Right, I'll see you all then. See you tomorrow for Bravely Default. Take care.